All right, so currently I don't have a planer, and I've got a pretty wide maple panel that I've glued up. And I just wanted to go over using the surfacing option in GSender to surface down this board. So in GSender, you go up to the top and you click Surface, and in there you set your X and Y, so basically how large your stock is. So in this case, I'm going to take in quick measurement of my stock. So just how long it is by how wide it is. And then put that into the surfacing program. And then it also allows you to set the depth per pass. So in this case, I'm taking off 0.5 millimeter each pass to a full depth of 1.5 millimeters. Then you can set your bit diameter. So in this case, I'm using a 1.5 inch bit, so that's 38.1 millimeters. And how fast you want your spindle to run, and your feed rate and step over. And then you have a couple options as far as how you want that pattern to go. So in this case, I'm using a back and forth strategy, starting in the lower left corner. And then you can generate the G code and move it into GSender. So from here, you do your normal operations. You'd set your X and Y 0, and you would set your Z 0. In my case, what I did is I picked the high spot on the board. So I'm just setting the X and Y here first. And then I'm moving over to a high spot on the panel. So basically the board that's sticking out the most. And then I'm using my touch probe to get my Z axis zeroed. So once I get my Z axis probed here, I can double check my clamps. Now this is a full panel surfacing operation, so I'm having to use mostly side pressure rather than any sort of top mounted clamping. And so I did have to double check that a couple times, and then I'm ready to start the job. So I'm going to hit start. And everything fires up. And it starts its first cut once the spindle's at speed. So getting this surfacing job running in GSender was really quite quick and simple. Alright, so that job is finished. And there's the bit that I used. And the surface quality is really good. The board is very flat and very smooth now. Minimal sanding required. So that surfacing has finished on both my boards, and they came out very nice and smooth. There was one small hiccup, and that was when I switched from the first board to the second board to surface it. I didn't account for the fact the board was about 10 centimeters shorter, and that moved my clamp in a bit, and I didn't regenerate the surface tool path. And so when the surface bit went to run that first pass, it impacted the stainless steel bolt sticking up, and unfortunately chewed up a couple of the carbide cutters and broke one. I was able to take and remove the cutters and flip them around and finish the job with the unbroken edges, but I will need to get some new inserts to replace the damaged and broken ones. So what was going to be a video praising GSender continues to do that, but also a PSA on double check your clamps so that you don't smash bits into them. So with the PSA out of the way, I want to thank CNC Labs for their great products, and in this case, the surfacing tool.